Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we're going to go over how you'd replace your rear brakes on a 2019 Nissan Rogue. We're going to do the brakes and the rotors. So to start with, you would have jacked the car up, removed the tire, supported your car on jack stands or blocks so it's not going to fall down. And we've got the parking brake off, so we got the tires blocked so that it won't move. But we got the parking brake off so we can spin this. Now if you can spin this, you're generally going to be able to loosen just these two that hold the carrier on, and then you can pop that off, then pop the brakes off. If not, you may have to put a screwdriver in here and widen it a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and loosen these two bolts here, which are number 10, and then we've got two bolts back here that hold on the whole carrier assembly. This is the caliper. The carrier is this metal bracket piece. And we'll remove those, and those are a size 17. And these two bolts were 14. And there's this rubber boot here, and you see it was kind of spinning the whole boot. So we want to just kind of make sure that we don't just spin it and spin it into two. So if you just kind of hold the rubber boot, it will be able to just loosen and come free there. So with that free there, now let's do the bottom one. Same thing on the bottom one. We want to make sure that we don't damage that little rubber boot. So with that, we remove this guide pin or glide pin, and now we shall be able to just pivot this thing up like this, and now we can take one of our old brake pads So if you just take one of the brake pads and place it inside there, it gives you a good surface to push this caliper back. And I use the brake pad because that way you get a nice smooth flat surface to push it back, and it won't push it back too far. So with the caliper pressed back, we check for signs of leaks. There wasn't any sign of a leak there. Now this, we don't have to remove this whole bolt. You can, but this brake line kind of gets in the way. But because this one's designed, you can really just pull the whole thing out with that guide pin still attached there. So we'll flip that up here on top, and we set it there where we don't get as a lot of issue. What do you call it? We don't want to have it hanging from the brake line itself. So now we've got our two number 17s we got to undo on the back here to get this whole carrier assembly undone. Okay, so we got these 17s broke free. Now we can undo them. Right, so that's done and removed. Now we can remove this carrier. With this carrier, we want to remove these clips because our brakes came with new ones for our brake kit. So you want to take a brush, wire brush, and just clean this out a little bit, or clean the carrier off. All the corrosion that's builds up. We'll do our best not to kick up a crazy amount of dust, because brake dust can be harmful. So I'm taking a little bit of brake caliper grease and just going around where the rubber grommet goes on here to lubricate it up so it'll flow, but also will help keep the moisture out, as this will seal on there better, and we want to keep the moisture out of these guide. So we have our new brake pads, and put the new metal slide guides back on. These give a smooth surface for your brakes to slide freely, and so that your brakes will release when you're done using them. So I took the little rubber cap that was inside this hole, and this is so if you need to undo the back off these drum brakes that are inside there, because this is a disc with drums inside for your e-brake. Your new rotor will come with some type of grease on it to keep it from corroding. So use a cleaner, brake cleaner, and what we're taking the oil coating that they put on it off, so that when you hit your brakes, you're going to actually stop. So when you got it all cleaned, then you're going to just line the holes up, slide that on there, and as long as it lines there, it's not really crucial which way this goes, because you just spin it if you needed to. Put your little rubber grommet piece back in there. Okay. Then let's go ahead and put our carrier and attach that. Ah, come on. So that's getting tight. So you see this brake pad has just one dot in the center. So that's going to go on the outside. And this one has the other dots, and so we'll put that on the inside. It's not good. I mean, they can go really either way. Just putting it on the way the other one came off. We got this guide pin up here. Want to wipe it clean. And this is the one that we just left on the caliper itself. So let's wipe that clean, and then we'll put some fresh caliper grease. Slide that into place. Go over the brakes themselves. And see, this slid right up there and locked on. I'll wipe up some of that excess grease. This grease will collect the dirt, and we don't really want the dirt there. Then we'll do that with the same on the bottom caliper guide pin, adding some brake caliper grease. And take our size 14. And then make sure it moves back and forth, and then you'll want to double check that these rubber grommets are sealing correctly and wipe up any excess grease. After that, then you put your tire back on and remove the jack stands and put your car back on the ground. Want to make sure that you pump the brakes a couple times before you set off to drive, so that these calipers will close to their what they need to be setting aside on side of the brakes or the rotor, so that you do stop when you need to stop. So that's how you replace your rear brakes on a 2019 Nissan Rogue. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.